And hello there, everybody, and welcome to the June installment of State of the Games. The State of the Games. I'm Big Polly. Usually, you'd be hearing my voice and not seeing my face, but this is the one time a month that I go in front of the cameras and talk to you all a little bit. I eventually want to get to the point where I'm doing this as a live stream, and we're going to work to get to that point. We being me. Here I go with the wheeze again, like I have a mouse in my pocket somewhere. I do have a cat, but he's not here at the moment. Programming note: in case you didn't catch the schedule for today, we'll do Perfect Team at 8 o'clock tonight. In fact, I'll do that right after we get done with this video. Um, I like doing these State of the Games as a YouTube exclusive, and I don't put it on my companion blog, or I don't put it on Digital Dice. This is just me and you. This is just me talking to you on YouTube. And see, I drink Coke. See, I wasn't when I every all the times I do those HTFL games, and I tell you I drink Coke and I don't drink beer. Well, here's the evidence of that. Hope YouTube doesn't get me for product placement on that. They get you for everything else. Um, but I'm going to get this video up. This video will not be released at a set time. As soon as it's up, it's up. This is the one video I do not schedule. This is the one video that is a YouTube exclusive. And I also wanted to mention Dave Gardner over at Digital to Dice. I know he had been going through some issues with his, financial well-being, I guess you could say. And I wanted to mention it because I went through a similar circumstance in around Labor Day last year, and I want you to help him out if you can, and get to his channel, and he'll tell you how to do it. And I'll mention my, just in case there's somebody out there that wants to help me, I'll mention my GoFundMe that I set up about August of last year, and it's at gofundme.com/hey dash save dash poly, the minus sign, hey dash save dash poly. And I'll as I post produce this, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen for you. I just wanted to mention mine just in case there's somebody out there that wants to help everybody out. We're all going through a rough time right now with this virus and the political machinations. And I'm not saying this to be political, but there is kind of a finagling going on between the two major parties of this country as to how the virus should be treated. They can't agree on anything these days. And I don't think that's an opinion. I think that's fact. Um, One of the issues I'm going to have to address moving forward with this channel is that I discovered a couple of days ago that this Dell Optimizer 990 that I use, and hopefully through the magic of post-production, I'll show you a photo I took of the video as I was watching Digital to Dice on Monday. It's going to need a graphics card because I wanted to review a game, the Golf Club 2019, and I found out, I don't have the DirectX version available as things stand on the computer to do that. And also, another goal I have down the road is to get a second monitor, which would make live streaming easier. Doing that with one monitor, I tried it once with an HTFL game, and it was a pain in the buttocks to do because I was using my television monitor and looking back and forth, like darting back and forth. That's where my monitor is when I cocked my head that way. And that was a pain in the butt, so I'm going to need two monitors. But that's a wish list kind of thing. Um, Also had plans when I started this channel to do In the Pocket Bowling, the computer game that was put out, I would want to say like sometime in the first part of the century. I would say like around 2008, 2009 or so, In the Pocket Bowling. And I had it on my other computer, but when I moved everything to the Dell, I could not get the where the program file was. It was freeware, and where the exe file wasn't there anymore. So that was my plan, is to incorporate In the Pocket Bowling and to do some stuff with that. but that didn't come to pass, and I hope that comes back. What I really wanted to do, and we're 5 minutes into this entry, is how I do what I do, kind of like my philosophy that I have developed. Because I see Uncle Ron Juckett, who's a couple months younger than I am. I'm September 1971, and I believe he is November. Talk about philosophy, and he's kind of been a good coach in a sense to have in terms of how do you do what you do, and to get you thinking, you being me, get me thinking about, okay, how do I want to present this? I keep notes over here on my left, so if you see me looking like this, that's what I'm doing, is I'm looking at my notes and I'm going through them. Um, where was I? Oh yes, setting times for videos is something I have incorporated in the last week or two, and usually I go to work on my videos at 5 o'clock. Usually, right around 5 is a point in the day where I could do it and just have the most uninterrupted time in my day. Do one video at 5, and then I put it up on YouTube, schedule it for 8, and then do the second one, and then schedule that at 9. If the HTFL game runs long, like say it runs over an hour, we've never had a game that has gone over an hour 15 at this point. And the way I do the games is pretty straightforward: call play, call play, call play, or hit that CPU button if I'm on defense. And um, we've never had a game that's gone over, we being me. Here I go again with that. Um, if the game runs over an hour, I set it up at 9:15. Otherwise, I set it up at 9. And I try to have two projects going every night, two videos up every night, one at 8, one at 9, or 9:15 or 9:30 or what have you. And that's how I do that. I don't premiere videos. I tried that early in the channel, and I didn't like it. Simple reason being, I want you to watch, you, the viewers, to watch the video at your pace. Sorry, I had the burps from drinking the Coke. Like if I put the video up and I premiere it at 8 o'clock, and you're doing something and you can't get to it till 8:15, well, you missed the first 15 minutes of it. I don't like how that works. I would just rather put it up and have it in an on-demand kind of setting, so that you see it when you want to see it, and if there's another video out there that you like, you go watch that, and then you could come back to the other one. And we'll try to do two or three, and no more than two a night. And on the 4th of July weekend, next weekend, I'm going to probably not do any on the 4th, and maybe do one on the 3rd or on the 5th, doing something. Um, Recording videos as opposed to post production, like I was just saying, I kind of like with one monitor. I kind of like doing things as they used to say in the old days of television, live to tape. Just doing a game, for the simple reason, things happen. Things happen when you're doing these videos. I've been doing the videos at 5 o'clock and the phone rings, and it's usually somebody you don't want to talk to, but you got to figure out whether or not you want to talk to them by picking up the phone and saying hello. And I like doing the post production. I was in radio for 7 years, from 1989 to 1996, and I was just happy to get it. I was in the right place at the right time in my radio career, and unfortunately, I really haven't been able to do much since in my life. I'd love to get back in radio again, but the radio I knew in that era does not exist anymore. It's all automated. I mean, you could start a radio station for $100 and put it on the internet, but nobody's going to hear you, and that's I got into the business at the wrong time, just as the business was totally changing. And then by the mid 1990s, more of the big radio companies could own more stations, and that pretty much knocked me out of the box. But one thing I did get to learn in my radio career was to do linear editing. I worked for the CBS station, which was then WHNZ, which was then 570 on the AM dial, and I was taught how to linear edit. And I was already good with computers, so it just caught on for me to do things that way. So when I do a game and I do it on OBS Studio, I record it, and sometimes the recordings go wrong. Sometimes like you get a Windows update and all the settings reset to ways and means that you don't want them to go, and you don't realize it until you've recorded a quarter of a game or half of a game, and like, uh-oh, and you have to start your game in start showing your game in the third quarter. That happens sometimes. I had a game, New York and Tennessee, a few weeks ago where I had to shut down for about half an hour because we had thunderstorms in our area, and in Florida, that's pretty common to have thunderstorms in the area. And in fact, Tampa had a high the other day of 99, which is the all-time record. So you never know what you're going to get. Most of the time, you know it's going to be warm in the summertime, and you know it's going to rain here or there, but we haven't been getting a lot of rain as of late. And we had a 99-degree day, which we've never had 100 here in Tampa. We've had a whole bunch of 99s, but never a 100. But I digress. But that Tennessee game, there was a storm warning out for our area up until X amount of time. So that time passes, and then I come back on, start doing the game again, and then 5 minutes later, power goes out. Power flashes on, and I lose a portion of my game. So things happen, and I think the best way to control what you show and what you don't show is by doing the games live to tape, and then doing the linear editing and putting the games together. Like I will do the games in basically four segments. The HDFL games. Do first quarter, take a little bit of a break. Second quarter, take a bigger break. Third quarter, take a little bit of a break. Just make sure, and I check and make sure everything's going all of these times. And I usually put the first half in one file, and I put the second half in a second file, and I piece it all together, edit it, and then show you the final product. And that I could usually get that done. I give myself 3 hours to do it. I could usually get it done in 2. Like I said, not everything goes right, and if you're out there and you want to do what I do, or you want to do what Ron Jacket does, or you want to do what Al Red Sox Man does, or you want to do what Dave Gardner does, or anybody in the sports sim business doing these videos on YouTube, you can't allow yourself to get easily frustrated. Because things aren't always going to go right. That's why I don't live stream, or at least not. I have no plans to live stream in the immediate future until I get 2 monitors, because you never know if someone's going to knock on your door. You never know whether or not the phone's going to go off, or your cat's going to come by and want to play with you. There's a lot of unknown knowns, as somebody in the Bush administration once said. There are things that you know, and there are things that you don't know. And I think by doing things live to tape and then doing post-production, it's a lot easier for me. You may have noticed that today I did my first, what I would like to call What's on Tap video, where I preview what will be coming up on the day, and we're going to keep doing that. We being me. There I go with that again. And another thing I worked on today is playlists, where everything I do, for the most part, with the exception of the previews, the What's on Tap previews of what's going to go on a given day, is going to be in a playlist. Like the HDFL has a playlist, and Grand Slam Wrestling has a playlist, and the OTP Perfect Team Series has a playlist, and the Franchise Hockey Manager stuff is going to have a playlist. In fact, it already has. I'm going to keep things in playlists, so you could just go from one video to another video to another video and just, go through them all. Another reason why I did the HTFL was I have been concerned, going back to before I started doing these in late April, about the NFL coming back. Oh, I hit the spot. Um, will the National Football League come back on time? I'm starting to have my doubts. They just canceled the Dallas Pittsburgh Hall of Fame game that they were going to have in Canton, Ohio, about 6 weeks from now to open up the season. I don't think they're going to be ready. Um, and I've been thinking that all along. You're talking about the sport that is the least socially distanced, where players are lined up to, they're not going to be able to line up 6 feet away from each other. It's not Canadian football. In Canadian football, they only line up 1 yard from each other, 3 feet. So I don't know how you're going to have the most socially distant game be able to play this soon. And, you could say what you want about the reports of more cases being found. Of course, more people are getting more tested too. But there is a political process that's being played out, and I kind of wonder. I know baseball wants to come back. They're talking about coming back about a month from now. Basketball is going to come back in Orlando, and they're going to finish the rest of the season just playing in Orlando, I guess. Hockey has plans to come back, but I kind of wonder still, especially with what's going on uh, with more cases and how some states are shutting down. If I go to Walmart, Pinellas County, where I live in Florida, if I go to the store, I have to wear a mask now. And that was never been the case since this whole COVID stuff began in early March. But now they want you to wear a mask. Uh, and, there's politics involved with people who want to wear masks and people who don't want to wear masks. I find it silly that you have to wear a mask now with the cases coming back, whereas we were probably in more danger 3 months ago and we didn't have to wear masks then. Um, so that's just my thoughts on that. HGFL. Wanted to mention, as I have been mentioning during the games, that as I lean back here at my table, hello, folks. Um, that I have 4 more games left to do in week 3. Then I'm going to take the 4th of July weekend off. The 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, I won't be doing games. I might be doing other videos, by the way. Uh, Not planning to do any on the 4th, but on the 3rd and the 5th, I might do OOTP or Franchise Hockey Manager. Maybe get back to Action PC Golf. That was a plan of mine, but I never got back to it. And with other projects, it just didn't seem too important. And Grand Slam Wrestling will always be around. The next event of Grand Slam Wrestling will be Wednesday. Wednesday the 1st, I will do a video along with doing HDFL that day. That's the plan anyway. Um, with the HDFL, what I want to do after July 4th is keep doing a game a day until we get to the end of the week, and then I take a day off, and then do a whole bunch of games, 15, 16 games, like doing 15, 16 straight days, then take a day off, then do another batch, then take a day off. I have 1 week coming up in a couple of months where it's just 3 games because of the way Action PC does their schedule. Everybody's got a bye, and then you have a week where there's like 3 or 4 games. And so this is going to be a lengthy project, kind of like how Ron does his 1978 MLB project. But I like it. This is the one thing I really want to get through, and I really want to do. I want this to kind of be like my magnum opus, kind of like the Dixie Chicks famous song "I'm Not Ready to Make Nice," or pick the most famous song for the artist you love, or Jigsaw's best known for Sky High, or whatever Barry White's best known for. I would say Love's Theme. And I want this HTFL season to be my magnum opus. If I don't complete any project, this is the one I want to complete so bad that it's going to take a while to do, but I'm willing to do it. OOTP. We do these videos. I do these videos. We're going to go over the we again. When I have 3,000 perfect points. In fact, that's why I'm doing one later on today. Again, the pause for the cause. and I will either, in fact, I have over 4,000 points at last glance. I'll update that when I do the video, and I'll be doing that right after I put this up. Um, and when I do the videos is when I have 3,000 points. If I don't have 3,000 points, then there's no purpose in doing the videos, so I don't. So these will pop in and out. We're going to do more Franchise Hockey Manager, but we're going to go to a game of the month, as I had mentioned a couple days ago on the last video I did, part 8, that it's going to be a game a month instead of a game a week, because I only seem to get 2 doing this once a week. So I want to get to the point where we're ahead of time and not keeping even with time. If I'm doing a week game of the week video and I'm doing a game every week, then I'm not advancing at a point where I'm making progress through the season. And if the Whalers make the playoffs, and it looks at this point very early in the season that they will, because in the NHL that year 16 of the 21 teams made the playoffs, that I would just do multiple games at the same time, like do like 2-2, 1-1-1, like how the playoffs usually work, a best of 7, and do 2 games at a time instead of just 1, and then we would slow things down and go through the playoffs. I want to do more action PC golf, and I want to review products like I was saying. I wanted to do the golf club, but the graphics card on my computer just wasn't good enough, so I'm going to have to put that project on hold for a while. And who knows if that game will still be relevant by the time I do it. So I've been babbling on long enough. I want to thank you for watching today's State of the Game. Might do these videos more, as I could think of topics and I could think of things to process, and maybe even, like I said, one day do this live, and I can get the feedback of the fans. So I hope you enjoyed this second installment of State of the Game, and I wish you well whenever you see this, wherever you see this, whenever you see this, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye bye for now, everybody.